The most overrated thing in the whole of horse racing is, you got it, did you get it? Inside information. By far the most overrated thing in horse racing is inside information. I'm a racehorse owner, I get lots of inside information and I ignore virtually all of it. Here's why. Inside information is the most attractive thing to a horse racing punter, but it's also the easiest thing to falsify. I have a nice Irish accent. You might believe me if I tell you that I've got a horse for tomorrow, that I've been speaking to the owner, the trainer, the jockey, and that they fancy this horse tomorrow. There's a good chance you're going to believe me, but in the vast majority of cases, especially from these fraudulent tipsters who charge you for their info, it's just a load of made up nonsense. And it's just trying to cover up the fact that they don't know the first thing about a horse race. And the easiest thing to do is to pretend that they've got inside information. That's the facts of it. But the biggest problem for me as to why inside information is the most overrated thing in horse racing is because usually the person who is giving the information, the trainer, the owner especially, is given that information without considering any of the other horses in the race, which is a huge mistake. Of course, it's only natural for an owner or a trainer or whatever to fancy their own horse, but it's hugely dangerous to take that information and use it at the expense of ignoring all the other rivals in the same race. It's not uncommon for several horses to be fancied in the same race, so who's right? If you're serious about improving your winner-finding ability and your value-seeking ability in horse racing, you can't just go ignoring most of the field, most of the horses in a race, just because you think you've received a decent bit of information about one of them. There's a word for that, and it's madness. The other thing is, a genuinely hot piece of information that you get the night before or the morning of a race could be completely useless by the time the tapes go up, by the time the stalls open. The horse could get upset travelling from home to the race course. The racehorse could get very upset in the preliminaries going around the paddock. The racehorse could absolutely lose its race on the way to the start, using up too much energy and being too keen on the way to the start. There's any number of things that can go wrong. For me, there is absolutely no substitute for putting in the work required to understand a horse race. Whittle it down a day's racing into the 3 to 5 races that you can frame up properly to get an understanding of how they might unfold tactically in terms of conditions and gain an understanding of each and every one of the rivals in relation to their price. That's how you do it.